Round 3, we're back.
We're back.
We've got a good one here. Kevin Sanders on white-black Aggro again versus Bradley Simpson on the green-black Gitrog. I really wanted to get this Gitrog deck on camera, so
All right.
here we are.
I'm going to tell you guys what happened, and you're going to thank us as your benevolent overlords of Magic content on Tuesday and Wednesday nights. There were, like, 4 tables that had drawn.
Yeah.
There's 22 players tonight, and there was, 10 players with draws.
Yeah.
It was, or 8 or 10 or something. It was seriously sick. This
Yeah.
is the only table of actual undefeateds over 2 rounds. 22 players, so you guys do the math.
Yeah, it's not
Bad.
a great situation, but we're making the most of it. This Gitrog deck looks sweet. We'll see if it can compete against the white-black aggro, the proven white-black aggro of Kevin Sanders. Double mulls to start us off.
All right. That's fine.
Which deck do you think mulligan's better here?
Probably the green-black deck.
Okay.
I would imagine it has some of the green selection spells in it.
Sure.
Your vessels and your grapples with the past.
Yeah.
So, that can help smooth out some things. Also, I don't know if the green-black deck is playing, what's it called?
Grimflayer?
Grimflayers,
Mhm.
but that's another one that gives you card selection and helps you smooth
Grimflayer's
draws.
pretty sick with the Gitrog. So, Gitrog Monster is a really good card. However,
Looks like Sanders going to see 5.
outclassed by Ishkana.
Yeah. It's the classic Shadow Mage Infiltrator problem.
Oh, yeah.
So Shadow Mage Infiltrator is printed at 1 black and a blue.
It's a
and-
1/3 Fear Ophidian, which is very strong.
Yeah, I mean, this card is fantastic. If you printed that card in Standard right now,
Holy
any
smokes.
idea how good that card would be?
Every deck would be playing black.
Yes.
They would have to.
You would either have to be able to block it or play it.
Or kill it. Like, reliably
Right.
answer it.
Yeah.
If you think
And
that...
if you think that card's good,
Right.
listen to the card they also printed in this set. It costs the same amount. It's a 1...
Dr. Teeth.
It's Dr. Teeth. It's 1/2. Loses a point of toughness.
Yeah,
darn.
we do sacrifice a point of toughness.
It has 2 activated abilities. The first one lets you discard a card so that it gets +1/+1. The second activated ability lets you remove 2 cards from your graveyard to give it +1/+1. So for every 2 cards you discard, this creature gets +3/+3.
Yeah, it's
It is absolutely
biggin.
bonkers off the hook.
this was in the Madness set as well. Well, in the Madness block.
Yeah, and consequently, Shadow Mage Infiltrator never saw any play.
Yeah, which is a shame. Also, you could just block it with...
The Psychotog.
you could block it with a Psychotog, but also the Wild Mongrel.
Oh, right. So Wild Mongrel, it lets you change its color when you discard it to it, as well as getting a power toughness bonus. All
So
right,
one
Sanders
card
is
and a
on
Wild
the
Mongrel,
1-lander,
did
but
you
he's
say?
got 2 of the best 1-drops in Standard.
He does.
All right. Here's Gonti, Lord of Luxury.
Does he look at 4 or 3 with Gonti? I thought it was 3.
I want to know how many names they went through before they landed on Gonti.
Can we pull up Gonti real quick?
Because Gonti sounds
Jake?
like it's such a luxurious word to say.
Yeah.
It sounds it's on the level of like Bugatti and you know,
I guess we're not pulling up Gonti. Whatever.
and Panda Express. Very
The
luxurious.
Express is luxurious, apparently.
No, the ongoing joke is that I love Panda Express and none of my friends do. All right. The inspection is happening.
I'm going to pull up Gonti. I need to know. Curious Minds.
Curious minds are inquiring about the Lord of Luxury.
While Taylor prattles on about Panda Express.
It's delicious. Shouts to Panda in the chat.
Oh,
All
it
right.
is the top 4. It's not 3. Okay.
Here's a Scrap Heap Scrounger. Gonti in for 3.
Gonti is a 2-3.
Gonti in for 2.
There you go.
If I don't know what's going on Bradley's side. He's had several turns of like.
I mean, he gets to set up. He's a control deck.
Is he a control deck?
Yeah.
All right. All right, we're gonna put the Evolving Wilds into play. Attack in with my guys. It passes. You're gonna sack this Evolving Wilds. I guess we're just happy with the Gonti beatdown plan.
It's not great, but you're winning this race.
Yeah. Well, Sanders, he's got some action now. Check this out.
I mean, he still can't swing in.
Can't swing in, but he's going to be able to sacrifice his clue.
Deccan Stone on Gonti seems bad, but so this is interesting. Okay, Selfless Spear is good.
So this is cool. Now he can block this Gonti for to kill it. All right.
Or not.
Yeah, I mean, I think Sanders mulling to 5 and having such an anemic start is not going to bode well for him getting back in the game. Brad probably has everything he can imagine needing.
In Sanders' mind, Brad definitely has everything he could ever need. That's for sure.
All right. So this is interesting. Scrap Heap Scrounger is going to go to Kevin's graveyard. And he's going to... And then he's going to have the Thraben Inspector in there so he can bring it back if he wants to.
Right.
So it turns the clock a little bit there. He trades 1 for 1. But really kind of negated Gonti's advantage there.
Pulse of Marasa.
Putting Evolving Wilds into his hand, gaining 6 life.
I've gotten back a lot of fetch lands with Pulse of Marasa. Never an Evolving Wilds, I don't think.
That's too bad. This Tireless Tracker's ready to go to town and do some work.
Yeah. He's effectively matched Sanders' clue total here.
Yeah, in one fell swoop.
One tireless swoop.
He's
What are you
tracking,
doing?
man. I'm
What are you doing?
stretching my back out. I was slumped there for a minute and just trying to refocus. I want to get my posture better over the course of time, as well as sideboard. 2017 posture and sideboarding, and posturing during sideboarding.
You already do that.
What do you mean?
Brandon and I have caught you posturing while sideboarding and made fun of you greatly for it.
Oh yeah, you're right.
100% happened.
I'm not saying it didn't happen.
Good, because you would be wrong.
Oh jeez. All right, so an awakened ruinous path. Thraben Inspector stands in front of a forest.
That's a swamp.
I'm
How did he
sorry.
get a third clue? Oh, he played a land this
Played,
turn. Got it.
every time he plays a land, he gets a clue.
He just upped it during combat.
Oh, casually.
Yeah. That's what I
Alright.
was concerned about.
All right, here's a stone. Maybe. All right, Declaration Stone on the swamp.
Another Thraben Inspector. So famously, I've played a lot of Blue-White Flash and a little bit of Blue-White or Esper Aggro.
Uh-huh.
I have never lost a game where I've played more than 2 Thraben Inspectors.
To be fair, you seem to be winning these tournaments at will. Like, really, like, you're like, what, 10-0-3? Or something absurd? Or like 10-1-3?
10-1-3 is 14. So I've won 4
F&Ms that makes 20 matches. Oh, but one of them only had 4 rounds, so 19 matches.
Yeah, so 19 matches. I've lost 1 and drawn
3 or 4.
So 15, 1 and 3.
Yeah, that's an insane record.
It's
Like,
pretty crazy.
I'm surprised. Here's Nissa's renewal.
Man, all the clues in the world.
This card was pivotal in...
As a one of, it was pivotal.
Right, in John Finkel's Pro Tour Top 8 deck. That played
green-black
Seasons Past.
That was a sweet deck.
Yeah.
It was really hard to win with. So I would not
You
be
literally
surprised
had
to
to be
see
John
half
Finkel.
of this F&M playing it. Because it was very easy to draw with.
To make a game last 35 minutes.
Yeah, you can make a game last forever, but turning the corner was difficult. Oh, and speak of the devil.
Okay. So, all right. The other part of this combo. Oh man, he chooses Pulse Marasa as his 3.
Yeah, he's ones that gain all the life.
The other part of this combo was the card Dark Petition.
Which he does not have access to anymore.
Right. It was in Magic Origins, and it was a demonic tutor. It lets you look through your library and pick a card, and then it added 3 mana to your mana pool if you were a spellmaster.
Yeah.
And so you would continuously go get Seasons Past, which would then go get back Dark Petition.
We have grasped the final Thraben Inspector.
And this would let you recast those 6 or 7 or 8 spells over and over and over again.
Yeah, it was a bit absurd when it got going, but it just, like, your win conditions were so few and far between.
Yeah, and Brad's win condition here seems to be Gonti, Lord of Luxury.
And, if it's getting in there, it's getting in there. I was promised a Gitrog monster, and I have not seen one, so I'm a bit disappointed.
We'll get one in Game 2 here.
Gitrog monster is a pretty solid win condition on its own. But that could be a possible replacement for Dark Petition in that you just draw so many cards.
Okay. Just generates.
You're eventually going to get in. Like, you have to play more than one Seasons Past, but...
This is my problem with control decks. So Kevin was on 1 land and 2 Thraben Inspectors for the longest time.
Yeah.
And a 3rd one eventually.
A 4th one, eventually.
The 3rd one eventually. 4th one once he had like 3 lands in play.
Yeah.
Brad was beating him down with Gonti, Lord of Luxury.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a deck that's more aggressive, that has a game plan of its own, I feel like you close out games that your opponents aren't in.
That game was over. Like, well over after, like, the 3rd or 4th turn.
When we stopped talking about it?
Yeah, when we stopped talking about it, that game was very much over. So, I mean, there's different ways of ending a game. So you can end the game by dealing 20 damage, or you can end the game by having, like, an insurmountable card, board state advantage, and just, like, riding that however long it takes to victory.
Huh. Alright. I want the game to last fewer turns.
That's fair.
That's just my style of Magic the Gathering.
You like playing 1-drops and 2-drops and turning them sideways.
Yeah, man. It's awesome.
That's fine. There are people that are like you.
Love you guys and gals.
You can find them joining the side events at GPs as they draw.
Oh, John Douglas, you big joker, you.
Got him.
Man, you led me down a long path there. It was fantastic. That was well done.
There was some emotion in that one.
There really was.
No, but I mean, there's definitely different types of players that like different types of decks, and some people like very controlling decks. Some people like very aggressive decks.
I'm real excited about this coming weekend. Not the one that's going to happen in 2 days, but the one that's going to happen in 10 days.
Yeah. We're going to Louisville.
We're going to Louisville. You have a pronounced V in your Louisville.
Louisville?
Whereas usually most people from Louisville, it's just Louisville.
Sure.
depending on like how outside the city limits of Louisville you get.
Yeah. So my parents weren't from Louisville, so
You were born there,
when I
was
was
it?
born there, I didn't hear like that accent all the time.
Sure,
And then I moved back up here in like the 7th grade, so
right.
wasn't super exposed to it.
But we are going to we're gonna get to play. Speaking of side events, all the side events.
Yeah. So Legacy GP, while exciting for some, and I can respect that, not exciting for me. But an SCG GP has this infinite challenge badge you can get for $100.
Yep.
You get to do all the challenge side events that you want.
Right. That you can possibly enroll in.
You're gonna get a bunch of standard and season, I think.
I'm gonna play modern.
Yeah, it
I'm
seems like a lot of fun.
I'm borrowing a deck from you in order to do it.
They're firing off a bunch of like a modern tournament every hour or something ridiculous.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I hope they do well. I wonder what the meta's gonna be. I'll have 3. I could potentially have burn available to me too. I could have 4
And
decks
game
available.
2 is over just like that.
Did he just scoop it up to Sanders, or did Sanders actually get in 20 damage?
Scooped it up. So Sanders had the 1 drop, 2 drop, 3
Always
drop,
watching.
always watching.
Gideon.
Yeah, just got all in.
Yeah, but Grand Prix Louisville, come on down to it, or up to it, or
Yeah.
whatever direction you have to travel, just travel that way.
Wherever you call home, travel towards Louisville, Kentucky.
Follow the horse smell.
It might smell like horses. I don't mind the smell of horses, but I was like, I grew up in Louisville, so I mean, you smell horses in Louisville.
Yeah, you don't mind the smell of horse. It's like being at
fine.
home for you.
Kind of.
If you arrive at night, follow the sound of John Douglas's snoring.
That might be a thing as well. I'm a little stopped up right now, but not like majorly. So we'll see.
All right. So Brad's gonna get to play first here in Game 3.
A big advantage for him.
A big advantage.
He needs all the removal in the world to deal with Sanders' most aggressive hands. Let's see if he can get a better one here.
We've had 2 non-interactive games,
Very much so.
and I hope that this game is the height of interactivity. All right, focus up. Here we go. We're going to see a card from the overhead, but Jake won't snap to it, so we have no idea what that was.
Yeah, no, Jake is an embarrassment to this position.
No, he's a great guy. Jake's a wonderful human being. He's great. If you have kids, bring your kids around Jake. He's really good with them. All right,
He's also great at giving out car insurance quotes. He's very good at that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Oh,
A blighted fen. Now, what he really wanted there was swamp, because I'm sure grasp of darkness is a real thing.
absolutely.
Here's an artifact, and here's Sanders in for 3.
The one card I saw from Bradley's hand that I really like is Splendid Reclamation.
Oh, cool. That's a cool
That card is indeed splendid.
The tendrils are flayed.
Tendrils are flayed.
So this is a card that I feel like, is probably super powerful in the right against the right matchups.
Yeah. It
And-
just doesn't do anything against Delirium. It doesn't
Okay.
do much against the blue-white decks, and
Okay.
it does less than nothing against Flash. Or not Flash, the Marvel deck, sorry.
Right, absolutely. Oh yeah, it's literally a blank card against Marvel decks.
Alright, so
Oh man,
we had a
Sanders got-
whiff to transgress the mind because he revealed all lands.
That's unfortunate.
On the other side of the table, we've got Bradley with no additional lands. Oh, man. What a top deck. Stasis Snare, your one guy. Swinging for 1.
All right. Sylvan Advocate.
Sylvan Advocate does a good job of stonewalling this Raven Inspector.
Here's it.
Not so much this Thalia that's coming down.
See, yeah, there you go. That's where I want to be. I want to be on Thalia.
You've got to assume he has a million removal spells in hand.
Yeah, I mean, she's going to catch one of them, but...
There you go.
Oh, man. Alright, so you just fire up one of these lands and just attack with it because you can. Oh, no blocks. Okay.
No blocks is aggressive. I don't know what pump spell he's playing around. But now he doesn't have to play around anything.
Yeah, Sanders needs to stop drawing land. Holy smokes.
He can almost activate both Shambling Vents. He just needs a black mana.
There's a Grasp of Darkness.
That was aggressive. He should have let it go to attackers first.
I'm just going to ask Sanders what his favorite planes is and just buy him the appropriate
Buy him
number.
like
I can't
30 of
handle
them.
this anymore.
Here's an always watching.
All right, so now this is actually kind of a big deal. This means that his creatures can block.
Man, you can just double block. All right, so
right.
here we go.
So a little misstep there. Sanders gains 3 life,
That's fine.
and this 3-man Inspector now can block the.
Oh, we have
Sylvan
another
Advocate.
land.
Another Blighted Fen. Don't Blighted Fens me in.
That was a good joke.
Try.
A Fumigate for Sanders.
That could be big. I would keep pounding away with my.
Well, he gets a clear shot at this Shambling Vent now.
10, sure. I really wanted to get to. I felt like you could play a defensive game there and make Bradley commit heavily to the board
Sure.
and get
We got
way
a
more out of the
fifth land
Fumigate than he did.
And here we have
Here's a monster.
the monster. Ribbit. Ribbit.
Put your hands up at the concert.
So there he is.
Beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice the Gitrog monster unless you sacrifice a land. Play an additional land. Put into a graveyard from anywhere, draw a card. So you sack a land and he draws a card.
Draws an additional card. Now he can play 2 lands if he has them. Don't know that he does.
But he has a Splendid Reclamation.
Yeah, Splendid Reclamation is going to do some work here. If that's the play. I can see waiting an additional
Here's
turn.
Diabolic Tutor.
Diabolic Tutor.
This is
Let's bring this card up, Jake.
a doozy. I'm just gonna read this card.
No,
to
we're
you.
bringing this card up.
Search your library.
Jake, bring the card up, please. I want to see the art.
Do you want to see the whispers?
Yeah, let's bring it up.
This is.
Hey, little girl, let me whisper in your ear.
This was at the end of a date, and Liliana revealed to Chandra that she had a special bottle of wine waiting for them at home.
Oh, my.
And
I also like that Chandra has the Taylor Gun patented no-tooth smile going on.
Yeah, dude. No teeth. What kind of wine do you think Chandra likes?
I don't know. I don't know enough about wine to give a reasonable answer to that.
White wine. She likes white wine.
You think she's a white wine girl?
Yeah.
All right.
Those redheads always are. Gonti, the Lord of Luxury.
Yeah, we'll just grab an Avacyn. Why not? Just in case he's got another Fumigate.
So he oh.
All right, so he had the removal spell. That's fine. You have his Avacyn. You have a Gonti.
Okay, there's the Avacyn. It's like, put him in his hand? That's aggressive.
Yeah, just... That's exiled Gonti, right?
Exiled. Gonti's out of this.
Get him out of here. Another land. We could play another Gitrog monster, I believe.
Here's the Gitrog monster. Again.
Another answer for Gitrog.
Declare Gitrog in stone. Attack for 4.
Yeah, these 4-point life swings are not small.
Yeah, so goes to 6. Sanders goes to 28, I believe. This is a big deal. Gitrog the third.
Another Gitrog. All right, so Sanders is back on the must-draw an answer to this Gitrog plan.
All right.
Not an answer.
4, 8, 9, 10.
Oh,
Sanders
almost
has
drew
drawn
the
10
card.
lands. And that's just a lot.
Gets to play his extra land from Gitrog this turn, which is a big deal.
Yep. Does he have enough lands in his graveyard that he wants to Splendid Reclamation? Nope, not yet.
I don't like that he played this Tireless Tracker before his 2 lands for turn, but whatever.
Whatever works out for you. Just turn these 3 lands face down. And he lost Legacy's Gideon.
Which is smart. If you're going to Lost Legacy something, Gideon's a good target for it.
I'm going to tell you this. This is the bottom of your library. None of it's land. Cool. There shouldn't be that much left.
All right, so 1 Gideon out.
Ha, 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 ha.
2 Gideons out.
Ha, 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 ha.
I should just let you.
Alright.
And then like 6 lands.
So Bradley's gonna shuffle up. Kevin's got a lot of haymakers in his deck, so he's got.
Does Kevin have a lot of haymakers? I think he's got a lot of, like, non-relevant spells.
Okay, non-relevant spells I can think of are like
Draven Inspectors.
Toolcraft Exemplars,
Toolcraft Exemplars.
Draven Inspector Cycles. That makes it like, you know what I mean?
Sure. Draws another answer for
To
the
the
Gitrog
Gitrog
monster.
He might need it to be an answer to this Tireless Tracker.
They're both going to get way out of hand here.
Alright. So those are important. I counted those as relevant spells.
Yeah, answers.
Alright. He can put Bradley to 2 here.
I think if you're Bradley, you just have to go to 2.
Alright, Bradley goes to 2. But my point is he's got a ton of draws.
Sure.
To get Avacyn is a huge one.
Mm-hmm.
I think Smuggler's Copter is a great draw here.
I'm not too enthralled with Smuggler's Copter.
It lets him like filter through like the cards that aren't as important.
Sure.
I
I mean, it's good. I don't think it's a haymaker or anything.
mean,
So
alright,
Sanders can't afford to just pass here.
right. Passing is what he's chosen to do here.
Drawing the 2. Feels good, man. So we'll get another land for turn. 2 clues for this one.
Chooses Forest, apparently.
Forest it is. I like his choice of forest and swamps at least.
Yeah, he's got a good forest. That's not my favorite swamp, but it's like it's in the top 2.
Okay.
Here is
Advocate.
Sylvan Advocate.
I guess he misses clues triggers.
I don't see any clues on the board. He's got 5 up to cast. This Avacyn is still looming.
Yeah, so Sanders is probably going to play around removal as long as Sanders has that mana open.
Right? See, if I'm Bradley, I would have gotten Avison into the mix there.
Yeah, she definitely
'Cause
speeds some stuff up.
It really it doubles your clock. All right, it multiplies by 0.33. Here's splendid reclamation.
Puts them all into play tapped. So we're up to 6 clues. Now Sanders
Did
can't.
he just pass the turn?
Yeah, passing the turn's right.
How in the world is that right?
He has 4 or 5 shambling vents he can block with.
Your 3-man inspector or tireless tracker can literally get to 1, 2, 3 more. It can become a 8, 7.
Yeah, so you trade it with shambling vents. Not great.
He has 2 shambling vents active.
Yeah.
1, 2. All right. Well, I don't know.
I would have much rather cracked multiple clues there than played this Avison, but
Sure.
I guess I'm just doomed to have people play Avison at the exact wrong time at all times.
It's just the story. Do we have another diabolic tutor here?
Yeah, we have another Diabolic Tutor.
More whispering. More whispering in secret.
I like it. Nissa's Revelation is pretty good here. He's going with the Seasons Past. I don't want that cast this turn.
No,
But-
I don't want to cast at all. I want him to work on ending the game.
I believe you, but this is the Seasons Past deck. You gain incremental card advantage. Not like end the game very quickly.
Well, I don't think you can't always get what you want, and you're not going to get what you want here. He's going to cast the Season's Best.
Puts him in an awful position. He doesn't have green mana, so he can't activate this Hissing Quagmire in a pinch.
Right.
I guess if he gets back the... Oh, he just wants mono removal.
2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so he gets 4 cards off of it.
Alright, so we've got 2 removal spells.
Gitrog Monster and Diabolic Tutor.
We're tapping out to kill this Scrappy Scrounger, which it has to die.
But this is a questionable position to do it in.
Yeah, I don't like it. Alright, so we're getting 4 in the air.
Yeah, I mean, Scrap Heap has any number of targets to
Yeah, it's fine.
get back here.
You gotta burn through him eventually. Another
Gosh.
always watching.
Golly.
Is this gonna be the one that seals the deal?
All right.
So he has enough to activate
1, 2, 3.
both.
So yeah, so he's got, and this forces all kinds of bad blocks.
Not good blocks, that's for sure.
I mean, stuff's gonna die.
I agree.
All right. All right. All right. This is not where you want to be as if your name is Bradley Simpson.
Absolutely not.
All right. Yep. Everybody dies. Kevin Sanders is going to gain 8 life.
Yep. Which is just enough to not die to a fireball for 35.
Right. Right. Excellent. Yeah. So.
Oh, he gains 10.
Oh, those are 5/6s. Holy smokes. And he still has mana to put Scrap Heap Scrounger back into play.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, as far as grinding is concerned, Scrap Heap Scrounger does it with the best of them.
Pass here. You have two.
I think you can safely get the Gitrog into play.
You have 2 blighted fens.
Okay.
So yeah, you can get a Gitrog into play if you really want it. But if you, I don't know, you can activate this Hissing Quagmire. You can get rid of both of these Shambling Vents, which are the problem. He should have taken care of it forever ago.
Yeah, I mean these clues should be off the board. You know what I mean?
Except we're searching for who knows what.
We don't know. It's a hidden zone to a hidden zone.
It could be a Gonti, which Gonti and Gitrog here isn't bad, but you need to make sure you have enough to activate your Hissing Quagmire still and hope he doesn't have a removal spell.
There's the Lord of Luxury. Here's 4 cards from Sanders' deck. What's he find?
Selfless Spirit.
Selfless Spirit. Do you have
Why
to reveal that card?
Did he take the Selfless Spirit? No, he's casting it.
Oh. Alright.
Yeah, I don't know why he took the Selfless Spirit when there was an aerial responder on top, but... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he only has 2, so he can't cast Gitrog and activate. And you definitely want to activate. He can activate 1, and then if he kills it before blockers, he can activate another 1.
So he has Grasp of Darkness in his hand,
Okay.
which doesn't kill anything, but it downsizes something
Yeah.
to the point where he can live.
I mean, you just want to trade off your Death Touchers for these Shambling Vents for sure.
Concur. Alright, Sanders has condensed his land into piles that can... Oh, wow.
That's a good draw.
That's a biggin. So what this does is this forces you to...
No. So you want to act in response to the activations. You want to
Light
grasp.
defend him? Oh, you want to grasp the...
You only gains 5.
Yeah, because the Selfless Spirit was sacked out of the way.
All right. So
here we stand. Bradley lives.
Harsh Scrutiny looks
lives
like it was the
another
draw.
day. Harsh Scrutiny is the 1-mana discard spell?
I think so.
Alright.
Yes, that is what it is. I think that's the draw.
Sanders going to withstand some Harsh Scrutiny here.
Well, it's not going to get cast unless he just has an extra mana and wants to scry 1.
Oh, yeah, I guess he doesn't have a hand, so it doesn't really matter. Like everything in life. Alright.
There it is. I think it's a Ruinous Path off the top, which is going to go back to the bottom. Alright. So I think we're just going to pass turn here.
Alright, so yeah, so now he's set up to make these plays that you've been talking about, where he gets to trade off his manlands for these other manlands. Wants to draw some cards.
Another Grasp of Darkness, which if Bradley is smart, he's going to save both of those because you may need both to kill an Avacyn.
Alright. 8 mana, so
Every time.
yeah, it's too bad that there's not a card like Back to Basics in Standard. Bradley would would kill a live cat for back to basics right now in some sort of bloody ritual sacrifice.
Sure.
And I think Kevin's just going to fire it up. All right. Three plus 3 is 6. Minus 8 is -2. All right.
There's no floating black mana.
I don't think that works.
Yeah, the black does not float through steps.
It leaves its steps. No. It's
not even damage, but
just
the
tell him I'll
result is the
explain
same.
it to him. I'll explain it to him later. Mana leaves pools at the ends of steps now.
Right.
It used to last through a phase, but they've changed that. Is Bradley gonna get back into this game?
I mean, Bradley was never far out of this game.
He's
Like-
at 2.
Yeah, he's been at 2 forever. It's not a huge deal.
All right, so he's gonna use Liliana to get back Gonti, and then Gonti to look at 4 cards from Sanders' deck. He just wants to beat Sanders with his own cards.
Beat you with your own deck. I mean, to be fair, Sanders' cards are much better than Bradley's at killing his opponent. Getting the tool crafting exemplar.
Oh man, that's funny.
What are we trying to pay 1 million mana for here?
Man, if Toolcraft Exemplar was the best card he saw, Kevin thanks him for rolling those 4 cards to
Sure.
the bottom of the library. Granted, Toolcraft
1,
Exemplar is going to be a
2,
3/2 first strike.
All right, we're
Yeah,
just
just 44.
swinging in for 4.
Alright. So, 3 Stasis Stairs, 3 Always Watchings on the board.
Draws a deck in stone.
We've taken care of 100% of the Gitrogs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Gonti is literally the best thing you're going to be able to deck in stone.
Gain 6 life.
And you get back something back.
Advocate's a good target here, because now we can activate some guys.
These Quagmires are going to be big. No. 3 plus 8, 11. So, I think Sanders out here is going to be to draw an Avacyn, sigh very loudly, and cast it at the end of... What's in hand? Oh, we have a deck.
Selfless Spirit and deck in stone. So, he wants to get rid of this Sylvan Advocate for sure.
I would deck in stone the Gonti, because then you can attack in with your Scrap Heap Scrounger, which is bigger than a Sylvan Advocate right now.
That's fine, but the Sylvan Advocate's pumping all of these hissing Quagmires.
It doesn't matter. He has to block with it.
I mean, do you really care if Gonti trades with your Scrap Heap Scrounger?
No, I'm saying my line gets you 2 creatures.
Yeah, the other line gets you 2 creatures as well.
Except, yeah, my line keeps Scrap Heap Scrounger on the board.
2, 4, 5. Sure. I mean, I don't know how relevant that is, but it does.
So granted 2 lines, you're preferencing the one that kills your guy?
That
For no
kills your
apparent
guy
reason?
and exiles the Sylvan Advocate so he can't get it back to Liliana or Pulsum Rasa, yeah.
Hands in the air.
Hands in the air. Like you just don't care.
Sanders took your line.
I agree with him.
I can't imagine.
All right, swing it with the Toolcraft Exemplar.
I still get its second effect, right?
What?
Judge!
Alright.
He's trying to awaken a ruinous path, and if he targets a Selfless Spirit and sacks it, he wants to know if he still gets the awaken effect.
Negative.
Positive, because the awaken effect targets.
Interesting.
Interesting.
It creates interesting. So it creates a second. That feels really weird. All right, so sometimes judges can't straight up answer what happens when I do this. Questions?
Oh, does not go for it.
All right.
Let's
so
bring up Ruinous Path.
it would, yeah.
Bring it on up.
All right, so he's got to cash in.
Cashing in Lily.
All right.
So if
awaken-
you cast a
if
spell,
target land you control, and it becomes your taste is still land.
so it
Okay,
creates
yeah,
an additional target.
it creates a second target for the spell. So when you're resolving spells, guys, if it has one target and that target becomes illegal, none of the spell resolves.
So I got
Harness
to,
Lightning is an interesting case of this,
Sure.
because if they remove the target, you don't get any of the energy.
Yeah.
But if they make the target indestructible, you still get all the energy because the target's still legal. You just choose not to spend any of it because it wouldn't kill the guy.
Right.
In this situation, it's a spell with 2 targets. If one of those targets becomes illegal, you still resolve the rest of the spell.
So I got
because
to,
that's what the rules say.
Did not think that through.
I got to get a pretty nice blowout during the pre-release because of this.
Oh, yeah?
So I had Grip of Desolation, which is exile target creature and land.
Okay.
And my opponent cast an Awakened Coastal Discovery, which is you draw a card and then awaken target land.
Okay.
And in response, I exiled the land and a creature, which was his only land. So it also countered the draw 2 cards from the Coastal Discovery.
Oh, nice. Grip of Desolation was, like, quietly the best spell in that set. It was just so good.
It was a good spell.
Every time you cast it, it was just a beating.
And we've got a Copter on the board.
See, I think Copter's a big deal.
I mean, it's a flyer, and that's a huge deal here. Yeah, come on. One clue at a time here.
It's a
Let's not get
5/5.
greedy.
It's a 6/6. Holy
It's
smokes.
a 6/6.
I hope Sanders reserved a card in his hand. So that he can cycle through some of this stuff. Oh, we finally seen fit to start sacrificing these clues.
So now we've got a Season's Pass.
Oh, gosh. Here's another pro tip. To make your life easier, figure out what way you are going to organize your lands.
Yeah,
And just do it that way every time, no matter what deck you're playing.
right. I mean, there's some decks that are more reliant on how you manage your lands. But,
Well, this one, he's got, what, 15, 20 lands in play?
sure.
Like, you know, figure it out. I don't know what he's trying to do here, but it's something.
He needs to get
Is
back
this
to
a-
Pulse of Marasa.
Is this a natural state that he's getting back?
No, it was a Tireless Tracker.
Oh, okay. Natural state would be just a gigantic sideboard card here.
Oh, yeah.
And if you got the Seasons Pass, the natural state, to do it multiple times,
Yeah, Pulse of Marasa is just much better than Tireless Tracker here.
yeah. All right. Yeah, Seasons Pass on the bottom of the library.
Play our Blighted Fen.
Man, all right. He needs to do something here.
So he can double grasp the Smuggler's Copter.
Right. Once Sanders fires it up to block.
Or he can Gonti instead.
Conti go.
So Gonti's nice, and then it gives him a Death Touch creature
It doesn't matter.
that doesn't care about any of these Always Watchings. Cannot double grasp it. Goes to 2. Hopefully pops some clues, or I don't know how many cards are left in his library. Probably not that many.
Yeah, who cares? Yeah.
Who cares? Nobody even cares anymore.
Here's an arrow responder.
He is a 2/3 flying vigilance lifeline. And the one card that I really wanted to draw. So kudos.
All right. Here's time. So Bradley's going to get the even numbered turns.
This one's going to be a draw,
Yeah, it looks like it.
and all the children are going to cry.
Yeah, there's going to be some crying children. So Sanders gets many draws at the top of his deck. So if he were to draw another Copter, an Avacyn, he could win the game. Because the arrow responder is required to block.
Scrappy. Institutional play him and sacrifice him again.
Yeah. How many creatures do you have in graveyard?
Creatures. I have a scrappy scratcher.
Alright, so Sanders is able to save his...
Through some terrible play by Bradley Simpson,
Right.
he's able to save his creature.
The responders...
Played it, didn't I?
The responders knew.
All right, so Sanders down to 25.
Alright, here we go.
So now this aerial responder being a 2/3 is relevant because the 6/6 Copter swinging in can get grasped and then blocked safely.
Okay.
Avacyn was the draw for Sanders, though, and that's a pretty good draw.
I think you just gotta... You have to... You have to equip the Copter, attack, and then... So, like, he has a Reclamation, Nissa's Reclamation or whatever. Nissa's
Yeah.
Renewal to gain 7 life to go to 9. Granted, Avacyn's a 7/7,
Sure.
but I think you have to try and get this arrow responder out of the way. He's on turn 1, so he has 2 more turns.
Yeah, I don't think so. We know Bradley has at least one grasp. We know he has two, but Sanders knows he has at least one.
I think Bradley can cast one right now.
Yeah, I can't see his mana, so I cannot conjecture there.
All right, so what I would do here is I would play this Avison.
Yeah, the Avison wins you the game there.
Yeah, so if he plays Avison, it flips.
Yep. And then deals Bradley 3.
Yeah,
And that would be the game.
that would be the whole game.
But
So
instead,
Sanders just gonna let Brad stay in the game.
yeah, Sanders has never played an Avison at the correct time. Like ever in the history of Avison being a
Avison?
Magic card.
All right.
So this does not surprise me.
Man, that Avison there would have been clutch. I wonder how much damage Sanders can take. He's at 25. Here's, all right. Avison blocks arrow responder. All right. Kevin shows him that I could have had him dead last turn.
So he's going to take 16 here and go to 9.
I'll take 16.
Yep, go to 9. I don't know what Brad could have here. I don't know what he does have. Has he just set his hand down face up?
I think so. Just doesn't even care anymore.
This kind of stuff. He's lost all hope of life, and
If he would have gotten back to the Pulse of Marasa instead of the Tireless Tracker, he would have come back there.
he would have won the game. So Sanders Bradley had a chance to win the game. Sanders had a chance to win the game. And
Absolutely.
So well, man, I asked for an interactive third game after the 2 non-games we had.
And you got an interactive game.
That one was a doozy.
Well, they interacted. So
They definitely interacted. All right.